Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, hi. My name is Carrington. Not your first time here, hey, welcome back. If you enjoy anything book or makeup related, this is definitely going to be the channel for you. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, click the little bell to be notified of all my future uploads. If you enjoyed this type of video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and let's go ahead and let's dive on into today's video, which is another book haul. I just have like a lot of books that I've gotten recently, and so I'm just going to keep doing types of hauls. I'm going to break them up into different. I've got like Amazon hauls, I've got book outlet hauls, I've got books that have been gifted, and your girl even gets a little bit thrifty, goes to Goodwill, goes to Swap Shop, things like that to get some books. So I'm so excited to be able to discuss the books that I got today. So let's go ahead and let's dive on into the books that I got as gifts. That's right. These are books I got as gifts from one person or another. For different reasons, whatever the case may be, but I'm so excited to share these. So let's go ahead, buckle up, grab a snack, grab a blanket, grab a cozy pillow, go ahead, lay in bed, get ready for your day, do your makeup as I talk about this, cook dinner, whatever the case may be. Get cozy, because we got books to talk about. Let's begin. So I have these books broken up into 4 sections. Honestly, there's going to be so easy to just kind of breeze through. There's not like a ton of them, as there will be in other videos. Okay, so this one's not as long, whereas maybe you don't want to take a bath and do this while you soak for like an hour and a half. But also if you do and then just want to move on to the other videos as they're uploaded, go right on ahead. All right, let's start off with books that were given to me by different people within my lives. So first up is going to be the book that my best friend had gotten me. So she bought this book with the intention of reading this. This is The Handmaid's Tale. She has started watching The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. She really enjoyed it. She got the book. I don't know if she bought the book. I don't know if somebody got the book for her. I don't know what the case may be. She's not a huge reader, and that's totally fine. She is not a big reader. So she was like, I want you to read this and let me know what it's about. I have not read it yet, but I'm really excited to see how this compares to the actual show. The reason why I haven't started this yet is because I kind of want to see how the show ends, because the very last season is supposed to either air sometime this year or next year. I'm not sure which, but it's supposed to air, and I want to finish it before I move on to this, so that way there's not like a whole lot of spoilers. I kind of want to see what the show does for itself. Usually the books are better anyways, but I just kind of want to see how it ends, or if maybe this ends real early, like maybe season 2 it ends or something like that, and it doesn't get to season 6. I don't know. The next ones are going to be from my mother-in-law, stepmother-in-law. Oh yes, my car needed to go. She had to come and get me because my car had a flat tire that blew out on the side of the road. And she was like, all right, let's just transfer over some of your stuff from your vehicle. I was like, yeah, I don't really need all of it. I am going to get some of my books out of the car and like, you know, my purse or like other like important documents and stuff. I was like, but everything else can stay, but I need to move my books. And she's like, oh, you like reading? And I was like, yeah, oh no, I love reading. And she was like, oh, okay. She's like, well, I've got some books. She's like, that I think you might like. And, you know, we were just kind of talking about what kind of books I like. And so she had 3 books that she thought that I would like. So the first book that she sent my way is going to be You Don't Want to Know. So this is about a woman whose son goes missing. They presume that he had died in a lake after he like had fallen off the dock and had drowned. This is really taking a toll on the mother, which, as I'm sure it would, she's in and out of institutions. She's constantly in grief. She can't hold down a job. There's just so much going on. But she desperately wants to know what happened to her son so many years ago. They've never found a body. They have no reason, you know, like why he would commit suicide. He wasn't, you know, he wasn't old. He was, you know, was a younger child. And just sometimes like some of the facts just weren't adding up. And so she's slowly starting to discover it. But her family is very adamant that she doesn't. And she wants to know why they are so against her finding out what really happened. Are there secrets that they are hiding? So we have to go through this whole entire extra large book. This thing is huge. This thing, it's like 600 pages. No, it's not. I mean, 530 pages. Basically like 600 pages. We're rounding here. I guess with that still wouldn't work, would it? No. But anyways, it's a pretty big, huge, hefty book. So I'm really anxious to see what has happened to her son in this book. The next one is going to be Kill and Tell by Linda Howard. So this is about a woman who has not seen her father in a long time. He went and served in the Vietnam War, and she just never heard from him since. It was presumed that he had been homeless and like living on the street. And then one day she gets like this really random assortment of letters from her father that she just is kind of just trying to piece together. Then she gets a phone call from him, and then a couple days later discovers that he had been murdered. So she makes her way to New Orleans to try to get more information. The detective who's working on the case is like, something's not adding up with this case, because he just thinks that like, it was just like this homeless man that was murdered. No idea who, but as like the daughter comes into town and he's getting more information and he's trying to piece the crime scene together, he's thinking that something else really weird is just like happening. However, what he doesn't realize is both of their lives are in danger the more that they keep digging into who it is. So they need to like figure it out before it's too late. So I think that will be good. And then this next one, the last one that she got me, is just called Just Take My Heart by Mary Higgins Clark. Is she like, I don't know if I ever read anything by her. Has she ever written anything before? She says #1 best-selling queen of suspense. Okay. Yeah, okay. So this follows a group of friends. Well, there's only 2, so it's a duo of friends, really. And one of them has been like really like secretly seeing like this married man. And one day one of her friends like falls into this guy and calls him by his like nickname that the girl has given her. And then she is discovered that she is dying of a gunshot wound in her apartment. And now they're trying to figure out who it is. And the detective that's on the case is younger, but really good at her job. And she is like really working hard on this case. So she's like, I really need somebody to come let my dog out. So she invites her neighbor, gives him a key, lets him into her home, which is putting her in danger. This trial that's going on is like super high profile. There's a lot of like really intricate details about this, where somebody like had hired him to murder him, but where is this guy coming from that was like her secret lover? Like there's just a lot. And then she realizes, the detective realizes that as she's trying to solve this case, a lot of like her intricate details are going to be told to the public, but also her life is in danger as well. So I'm assuming this has something to do, I have not read this, like maybe like the guy that she's dating is, I don't know, maybe like the guy that she's dating is the one who like killed everybody and is like framing somebody else, and then he's trying to kill the detective so that way like the truth isn't brought out. I don't know. That's what I think is going to happen, but I could be 1000% wrong. I could be wrong. All right, so these next, how many are there? 5 books. So there is a group that I'm in, and they do just like Amazon Day, where everybody just kind of posts their link, and you have to at least buy for one person off of their wish list. You have to send proof, and then other people will send you books. So I've got quite a few books here that I had gotten, so we will go ahead and we'll dive on into those. All right, so one of the first books that I got is going to be 214 Palmer Street. So this is about a girl whose neighbors go on vacation. She's generally somewhat pretty close with her neighbors. And then she notices like the curtains moving, and she's like, wait a minute, I don't know of anybody that's supposed to be over at their house. So she goes over, knocks on the door. This girl named Sarah answers. Sarah was just like, oh yeah, I'm just like the house sitter. And so Caddy walks away, was like, okay, well, that's really weird that they would never mention it. But now Sarah is panicking because nobody was ever supposed to see her inside the house. So what she's doing there? I don't know. This next one is called Sing Unburied Sing. This is supposed to be like a ghost story and like a road novel. So I don't know. I've tried reading the back of this, and it just kind of talks about like this book is supposed to heal emotional bonds. And so it doesn't really say what this is necessarily about. I think I just like put this on there because it was like so on my wish list because it was so raved about on TikTok, but I couldn't tell you what it's about. So I hope that it's good all the same. The next one is called The Perfect Escape. So this is about 3 friends who are going to like set off to just have like a girls' weekend away from their husbands, daily life, everything like that. And they are all so excited. But then car trouble starts to begin, and they realize that they're going to need to make this detour. But as they get out and they make this detour, a lot of weird things are happening. And then one of the friends goes missing. But as they're trying to find her, a lot of like secrets are revealed about each and every one of them. And then they realize that really the car trouble may not have been an accident and that it was planned. And now they have to discover everybody's secrets to figure out how to make it back home. I don't know. This sounds good. So this next book is called Things We Leave Unfinished. This is by Rebecca Yarros. I had read Fourth Wing and that was so good. She doesn't usually do a lot of fantasy. She does more romance. So I had this book on my wish list. I kind of just wanted to see what was there. This is about Georgia. She just is going through a really nasty divorce. In the divorce, she loses everything. She loses friends. She loses family. She loses this home in upstate New York. So she moves into her great-grandma's estate that's in Colorado. And she runs into Noah. And she hates Noah, cannot stand Noah. Noah like writes all of these books. And then as they're like going through her grandma's things, she sees, her great-grandma's things, she sees some books that were left unfinished, so she starts reading them, and then she realizes that she doesn't want the same fate to happen to her. What happened, we don't know. It's supposed to be, like, eerily weird and creepy, and she realizes that, like, she's starting to grow to Noah, but she doesn't want the same thing that happened to her great-grandma to happen to her, and she is willing to ruin Noah's book writing career if it means saving her own ass and not having anything happen. So, there's that. I don't know. So the next book is called Still Missing. This has been on my wish list probably one of the longest. For one of the longest amounts of time, this has been on my wish list. It's wild. So anyways, this is about a girl who is trying to sell a home. She had a lot of prospective clients, but didn't really think that they were going to work out. So she was just kind of feeling down about it. As she's getting ready to leave, this van pulls up. And she's like, great, today's going to be my lucky day. Like, this is going to work out. It's going to be perfect. Well, now does it say? Doesn't say. It doesn't say how long she's been there, but she had been held captive for quite some time, and now she has escaped. And so now it's like going like back and forth from like the present to the past, and like talking about like her captivity, where she's at now, what's happening with the case, things like that. So I think that sounds really good, and I'm really glad that somebody did purchase it off my list, because I kept saying like I want to read this, and it was on my list, probably the longest of all of the books on my list, and I just never bought it. And so I'm so glad that it was gifted to me from that group. So then the last set of books are going to be books that were purchased by my significant other, by my husband. He had gone to Target the other day and bought some books, and then he bought a game to play, and he bought like, oh yes, and he bought like these, like this, but like with, it's like a blanket hoodie. Yes, and I was so excited about this, so I'm so excited to share the books that he got me. So first up is going to be the book called Cackle. I have been waiting for this book for such a long time. This book was part of like a book you could get from like Book of the Month, but it was already sold out and they don't ever really restock. So I was like, dang it. I've tried going to like different stores and they just didn't have it in stock. And so I was like, eventually I was like, okay, maybe I just need to order this off Amazon. But luckily my hubby went to Target and came in clutch, because I had been looking for this book for a while. So this is about two girls who are best friends. So one of them goes through like this really gross, grisly divorce, and she leaves the town that she's in. She settles into this small Manhattan village. And while she's there, it just seems like everything's perfect. She does have this house that's like overrun with spiders, but she's like, we can look past that. We can call an exterminator. It's fine. And that's when she meets like her friend, and she's like, wow, this friend is like perfect for me. But then she starts noticing that like a lot of the townspeople seem really scared of this friend. And as she's like sitting there talking about like the townspeople and like how she's like really scared of them, a lot of the townspeople seem to be really afraid of the friend, but she's like, oh, it could just be whatever. But then she notices that like at this girl's house, which is in a mansion in the middle of nowhere, it's almost like it has like this kind of spell on her that makes her really want to stay at this house and never leave. So I'm really excited. It's almost like it's like kind of witchy and like creepy. And so I'm here for it. I'm really excited to read that. The next, I don't know what these are about, and they're in like this really pretty case. I know I have heard of like some of these. So this is like 2-in-1, where it says They both die at the end, and then the first to die at the end. I've heard a lot of like, the only thing I've really heard about these, and that is really like hyped up, is that it's like a really sad, emotional book, and it'll really have you thinking. So that's all that I really know about these books, and so I'm really, really excited to just like break these open and be able to read them at some point. The next one is going to be Yellowface. I have heard so many good things about this. So these are about two sisters, and with this, the two sisters, excuse me, the two sisters are both authors. One of them is like, does like super well, does fantastic. And then the other one just like doesn't really take off with her writing. It just seems really basic. Well, then in a tragic accident, the one that really excels in writing dies. And so the sister then takes like her work that's unfinished and then like makes it and sells it as her own. And then slowly like the truth is starting to unravel. But the sister is like willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that she still remains successful and nobody finds out anything. So I'm just kind of anxious to kind of see like what all she's hiding. What is she willing to do to keep everything a secret? I don't know. It sounds really good. And the next one is going to be All the Bright Places. So this is going to be about Finch and Violet. So Finch constantly just like thinks about death and like all the ways in which he could die. But at the same time is always like constantly being like, okay, there are things that I can live for. There are things that are important to me, and kind of goes over those. Whereas Violet, on the other hand, is ready to live life. She's ready to count down the days until she can graduate. She can get the heck out of Dodge and she can just like live her best life. Well, Finch and Violet finally like start meeting up, and they are, you know, like talking to one another, and they realize that they are both polar opposites, but yet so close to one another. However, Violet, as her world is starting to expand and get better, Finch's isn't. So I'm really wondering like what is going to happen in this book. It sounds good and insane all at the same time, so I cannot wait. So that would be the very last book, is going to be Stephen King's Billy Summers. And so this is about Billy Summers, and he is a hitman, and he is like a decorated war veteran. And one thing is like he, you know, obviously is murders for hire. And then he just has like this uncanny ability to just be able to just like disappear. So then he agrees to take like this one last like murder kind of spree kind of a thing to like, you know, murder for hire. He's willing to take this one last one. He's been really successful at it. What all could go wrong? But as we know in Stephen King's books, a lot can go wrong. So I'm kind of wondering, you know, where the turn takes. And of course, Stephen King's books are just massive. These things are huge. This is a total of, wow, over 500 pages. Over 500 pages. It's a huge book, but I really do like Stephen King. His writing can be a little bit difficult if you're new to reading, or have a tough time with like a lot of details, characters. Stephen King books are probably not going to be for you, but I personally do enjoy his books like from time to time here and there, so I'm really excited about this one. That is it for today's video, talking about all the books that I was gifted here recently. It makes me super, super excited. I feel very loved, very appreciated and valued, which I'm sure everybody always wants to feel in their life. So when people like acknowledge that I like makeup and books and gift me stuff that they think I would like, and that's also my love language, it makes me so happy. So I'm really excited for all these books. They all sound really good. I can't wait to read them. Let me know what you guys think down below. What's a recent book that you were gifted? Or are you one of those people where you have so many books, or you have such a specific interest that you would rather have gift cards so you can pick your own books and make sure you're going to get something? Let me know all of that down below. If you enjoyed this video, then definitely make sure you guys have subscribed and click the little bell so you can be notified of my uploads. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, to make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!